Hey, we live out here, cuz. It ain't letting me be great. So, welcome to the latest episode of the Concept Moon podcast. I know we ain't been as regular as you would like, but we're gonna come to you whenever there's something relevant to talk about. I'm your host, BD, aka Bigger Than Everybody Bobby. You can catch me on all social medias under that. BD_Diddley on Twitter /X. And I'm here with my wonderful, amazing co-host, the man himself, the myth, the legend, Ra'Chaun Rodgers. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you,
what's
brother.
up, brother? How you been?
I've been good, man. I'm glad to be here, back in the saddle with you, man. Again, you can check me out on Neuro Not Zero, everywhere. X, Instagram.
X.
I'm on Facebook too, but not really. Kinda.
He said I'm on these Facebook streets every once in a while.
Every once in a while. We ain't too much. But yeah, man, it seems like we got a lot to talk about this weekend, man. Like a lot of things happen in less 48 to 72 to 40 to 24 hours.
Listen, it's been crazy. Like, so okay. So the title of the episode, people already know what's up. RapBeef and Wrestlemania. We're gonna keep it real. We're gonna keep it funky. We're gonna get right into it. However, we are gonna start. We're gonna talk about stand and deliver, of course.
Yes, sir.
We gotta talk about stand and deliver. But my man, so before we get into the shenanigans for real, is there anything you've been watching that you wanted to, just shine some bright lights on?
Yeah, I've been checking out that X-Men 97. That's a pretty good show, man. I tried to go in without thinking like, hey, this is not going to be the same as our childhood, but it's picking up pretty well from where it left off. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It's very good.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're also doing one thing that the X-Men used to do very well and people complain about stories doing now. I feel like they talk about discrimination and different things like that in this show, in my personal opinion, without being like beating you over the head with it. It's like this is like, if you watch the X-Men, you read the X-Men, you've seen the movie, whatever the case is, this is what they about. This is what the story's about. So this is one of the stories that, if it doesn't have that, it's gonna, it's not the X-Men. So I think that they did a great job in doing that without, people want to say, oh, it's too woke, whatever. Like, this is the X-Men. This is what you expect.
X-Men been woke,
right? What did Kirby and Stan Lee do it for? This is what they,
I don't know. Anybody that says the X-Men are too woke, to me, you ain't really an X-Men fan.
Yeah,
you don't understand. You don't understand the characters. You don't understand the origin. You don't understand the team. Like, it's too much. You just miss it.
I mean, come on. How many times have Charles and Magneto been compared to Malcolm and Martin? Like,
there's a reason.
Come on. You can't have that conversation without, if you don't read comics. That's really what it is. That's what it sounds
straight
like.
Up. I ain't watched that yet. I ain't gonna lie, man. People gonna be mad at me. I ain't got to
it yet. You know what? Get yourself some time to sit down and watch it. You know what I'm saying? However you can. Because it's one of them things where you're like, okay, I'm really into this. You don't really want to be interrupted. So if you got a lot going on, we adults, busy life, man. Yeah. So if you got to find some time to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to give this a watch. So I can't even blame you. You want to be able to digest it, to enjoy it. Yeah,
all of it. Like, I'm one of those people, I like that when I watch it, I want to be able to sit and really kind of analyze it, think about it. And I don't got time, like 1-2 episodes here and there. I ain't got time for it. I don't. Right. I got too much shit to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I would say the only show I've been watching recently, there's been 3 shows I've been watching, or I think 3. Undead Unluck.
Okay, that's I've been reading the manga. I like that one. That's a real good one.
Good. That one going right.
Solid.
I just started watching Shogun.
Okay, I heard that was dope. I heard that was
man.
I heard it was heat.
I'm like 4 episodes in and I'm loving it.
Okay,
like
check
they doing it right. I don't know that actor. Listen, I'm terrible with actor names. That especially foreign actors, unfortunately. But that Asian guy that plays the main character in Shogun, he's in a lot of stuff. But he's
an older guy.
Yeah,
it's not the cat who played Scorpion, right? Who was in Bullet Train?
No,
right?
not the new Scorpion.
Nah, you ain't talking about though, right?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but no, it's not him.
Okay.
It might be though. We look it up. We have to look it up.
Don't because I like he's good. Everything I've seen him in, he been kill it.
Yeah, That, and then I've been watching The Gentleman on Netflix. So random, like
What's
such
that
a
about?
random trio. It's a Guy Ritchie TV
Okay.
show. So if you like
TV
Guy Ritchie
show.
films, if you like Guy Ritchie films, you'll like the show. The show's
I like the layered cake and all of that. I like Snatch and all of that. I messed with that back in the day. So I like
Stock, Barrel. I like
Lock, Stock. Yeah. I like all that.
I watched. So I'm like 7 episodes in. I think it's 9 for the whole season.
So it's like London gangster stuff. Like
it's real good though.
I like that stuff.
And those are the big 3 I've been watching right now, and I ain't even watching those consistently. Like I said, I'm only 4 or 5 episodes in on Shogun, and it's been out for a minute. You know what I mean? So it's a good man. It's the first episode is an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's good. Now, forget all that. Let's get what we came here to see, man. Listen. So we got RapBeef. You feel me? Big 3 RapBeef. You know what it is. Drake, Jcole, Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? So I know you had to hear first person shooter. Everybody heard first person shooter. Yeah. Drake and Jcole. Fire. Cole killed it. Of course, Carolina all day. You know how we do. So I get to listen on the sidebar. I love Jcole. Because we're gonna talk about a lot tonight. I love Jcole, first and foremost, but I'm gonna have to take my man to task too because some things. First person shooter kind of reignited this whole thing. You know, this goes all the way back, really though, like all the way back to the Control verse.
That's where it started.
All the way back, like you know what I mean.
That's where it started.
So, you know, obviously Kendrick Lamar to me. So the big 3 to me, obviously, is Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Jcole. From a lyrical standpoint, from a musical standpoint, those I feel like you can't really argue with that order. Drake sells the most. Drake sells the most. He does the most. You know, tours. You gotta give him his credit. Whether you feel like he's authentic to who he was when he first came out, that's a whole other conversation.
Yep.
Kendrick's award-winning rapper, amazing lyricist, bit of a in my opinion, a tad bit overhyped, just a tad bit. But
I can say that.
You know what I mean? But you can't say he don't deserve the accolades. He's been putting in the work. To me, he put out the best album of this generation. And that's The Pimp a Butterfly. That's my personal favorite. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do you one better, not to cut your wisdom. I'm gonna do you one better. I think, everybody knows I'm a Nas fan. I think Good Kid, Mad City was their generation's Illmatic. Or it was written. Listen to Good Kid, Mad City was that when that album first came out. I was like, I'm not gonna really. But when you listen to it, it's like it's his life story, and they say you have your entire life to write your first album, to tell your first story. Yeah, he told that story masterfully, I think.
I'll tell you this, man. I'll give because I'm a big fan of storytelling, as you know, we writers. If you go back and you listen to Section 80. And you listen to Good Kid, Mad City, and then you listen to Pimp a Butterfly, and then even with Damn, there is a very clear, linear story progression. Right? Yes, that to me is amazing. As a writer, as an artist, the way he puts the things together, is amazing. I can't take that from him.
It's very rare that you hear a rapper create a theme storytelling album the way that rock bands do, or different groups do, different other genres do, and he does it better than almost anybody. Like he does it. It's so intentional. It's so intentional.
My mama's in the watching. I'm sorry. I gotta say, hey, Miss Frankie.
Tell her I said what's up. Peace, mom.
But fact, you're right. It's very rare that you get some high level concept albums here and there, and they're usually not commercially successful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's really the big knock on a lot of backpack rappers,
right?
That kind of thing. They don't put out commercially successful music, right?
Right.
So because you get into this whole he's a lyricist, he's that a lyricist. Like then the people want to bring up people like Tech Nine and Immortal Technique and all these people that they rap, but they don't really sell records. So we're not gonna talk about them today.
Yeah.
So with Kendrick, man, he's in a very unique lane because he pretty much all of his albums are high level concept albums. You know what I'm saying? So I can't knock the man for his ability to put words together right and tell a story over instrumental. To me, he's the best right now, period.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really arguable, except when it comes to these bars. Now,
hold on. Caveat. Are we biased because we not from the West Coast? Are we biased? Because
you
from North Carolina, I'm from Brooklyn, right?
Right.
I love Cole.
But I grew up listening to a lot of West Coast music, real heavy.
I did too. But I love Cole because Cole represents for both New York and North Carolina. Yeah. So are we biased? Because I'm not saying we are. But
I'm definitely biased. I'm not gonna flex. I'm biased to anybody from Carolina. So I'm not. But even with that, I gotta be honest about my man. Like Cole to me is Cole of the three of them is my favorite rapper of the three. He's my personal favorite. I don't think he's the best, but he's my personal favorite.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm just gonna say what my opinion is. Now we dissect it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like in the recent exchange with the Like This verse from Kendrick, going all the way back to the first person shooter, then Like This, then 7-minute drill or 7-minute drill, whatever. I feel like Cole had the best song personally, but I know a lot of people don't think that. But the reason I think so is because really a 7-minute drill, the context of what the song is, you got to take it all the way back to the military. You know, I was in the military. 7-minute drill is a warning. It's warning imminent, like attack imminent. Get ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
that's another thing. And I think I'll get into my feelings. Cole in a lot of ways, because I feel like Cole is that everyman rapper. He should have embraced that. He should embrace that everyman rapper. Yeah, I feel like Cole is what Lupe was on the trajectory to be. I feel he's talking about video games. He's talking about stuff that you don't have to be in the street or have to have family in the street or have to be in certain spheres to talk about or to feel or to think about. He was that. And I feel like another thing about him is that he does those little intelligent, like, oh, this is like 7-minute drill. I didn't know that because I'm not in the military. Right. But when people who are from the military hear that, like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking. You know what I'm saying? He does that little. He has that layer. He has those layers. Yeah, and
that's a 3 to 5 minute wavering tone. I know exactly what that is.
Right. So it's like he's. I feel like of the three of them, I feel like this is gonna sound weird. I think he's the most intelligent, maybe. And I don't know if this has, as a rapper, I feel like that's one thing we don't think about when we think about lyricists or rappers in general. How intelligent, when it comes to cleverness, how not just punchline like, oh, this is what, it's like how intelligent a rapper is in terms of like layering things so that some things you're doing for your fans, some things you're doing for yourself, some things you're doing for the person who you're talking to. Right. And I think he does all of those things in terms of putting those layers in there very well, better than the other two. I feel like.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, it's subjective, obviously, but I can definitely I can understand where you come from. I feel like the only knock on Kendrick, my only personal knock on Kendrick, is that his albums don't have the replayability to me. Like there'll be like 4 to 6 songs on probably each album that I'll listen to real heavy, and then the rest of them I'm just skipping them. I'm not listening to them. They're dope songs. I'll listen to them when the album plays through in the flow of the album. They're amazing, but then at the end of the album, I find myself really only going back to certain ones, right? Now, Cole, on the other hand, to me, has not made a classic album. I love Cole. That's my guy. Yeah. They say his closest thing to a classic is 2014 Forest Hills Drive, right?
I would agree. I
think if you want to make an argument, that's the argument you make for his studio albums. His real classic is Friday Night Lights, but that don't count. That's a mixtape, right? So to me, that's the one thing, the black mark on Cole's resume is that he don't have that clear-cut, crystal clear classic album, right? Kendrick got Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
You can make a case for probably Damn, but I don't think it's a classic. You can, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, not a classic for me.
No.
Wonderful album, great message, heavy album, but you ain't listening to that album.
No.
Again, I listened to it once all the way through, and then I listened to it like twice, like kind of a little bit, and then it was like, yeah, I'm good on this. I listened to N95, I listened to a couple of different tracks.
Again, Good Kid, Mad City is Illmatic. To Pimp a Butterfly, it was written, and after that, I feel like you in his I Am Nostradamus era. It's not bad. It's not bad by any chance.
He's in his Esco era.
Yeah, but it's not bad by any but it's just like you said. I feel like with Kendrick, his albums are even start for Section 80. are errors of him, and it's like I've grown out of that person, so like going back to it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I feel like Cole has things like, you know, like Born Sinner. I love Born Sinner. You know, just different. It's just like, this is who I am as a person. It's not a story that I'm painting. It's not a picture that I'm painting by looking at somebody else's story. This is who I am. And so I'm going to give this to you. And if you relate to me, you relate to me. If you don't, you don't. And I think that's, again, that everyman rapper. Again, Cole, that he said on Let Nas Down, he's the comparison, Nas without Illmatic. He could have been, it's like you were right here, but you don't have that thing to put you up the top.
And that's why I feel like he fumbled the bag a little bit. So let's skip forward just a tad bit. He did 7-minute drill, and then he did Dream Fest, and he went on stage and he apologized.
I was gonna say, when I first read that and then I listened to it, I first was going to say, first of all, let me get this out the way.
Right.
I'm 37. You 37, right?
36.
36. I don't want no young people to come at us talking about rap was better it's never gonna be as good as we had it back when we had it. Period. It's not, when people was rapping, they was saying your name.
Yeah, straight up.
They was coming at you, and they coming at you. It was like
clear,
right?
Clear.
And it wasn't no. And you know what? And I say this. I preface that. I say this. And they wasn't. If they was coming at you, they wasn't coming at you because they felt that some jerk on the internet, being me, some jerk on the internet's gonna say, well, if you don't say this because he said this, you're trash, you're not, whatever the case is. Cole,
you know what I dislike now about this generation of rappers or fans even is like they equate money to everything.
Yeah.
Like if you just because like Drake, he gets out of all of his beefs because he makes the most money. He showed you ain't got enough pockets deep enough. But let's not act like Drake ain't get murked by Pusha T. Yeah, he got murked. Joe, people trash Joe Budden.
Yeah, Joe, listen, he didn't want none.
Go back and listen to Afraid. Go back and listen to Making a Murderer Part 1.
Yeah.
Go back and listen. Like he went in on Drake, and it was not even close.
You know who I felt also should have went in on him? But I don't think people listen to him enough. I was just listening to him. Sauce Walker. He kind of bit a lot of Sauce Walker's, some of Sauce Walker's kind of style when he was down in Houston. And I think Sauce Walker should have went after him. But again, like you said, his pockets are so deep that everybody, he make more money than you, so he's better than you. It's like, that's not how rap works.
But rap is a competitive thing, man. Like you go back to, we grew up on real rap beef. Ice Cube versus NWA.
Versus Common. Ice Cube versus Common.
Listen, people forget about Ice Cube versus Common. LL versus my man Cannabis.
Yo, I do you one better. Go back to LL versus Kool Moe D. Like,
not the King LL.
Where Kool Moe D's rapping and LL walks on the stage like what? You know, like we come on.
Look, Boogie Down Productions
versus Yo, listen, it was not playing.
Like we grew up, the bridge is over. Like we grew up on real like competitive rap. Yeah. So this stuff that these cats doing now, they like that whole Meek Mill Drake beef. Like when he hold up, sidebar.
Yeah,
Meek Mill was just on Twitter or wherever he was at, talking trash about Wale. Right?
Yeah, he needs to leave that alone. Wale's a better MC than him.
Meek need to go sit down somewhere.
Yeah,
like Meek. Allegations are out there. There's audio out there. Like, Meek don't need to say no tough stuff no more.
And here's the thing. Wale is another one of those people I put in the same category with Cole, where he's an intelligent rapper, where he'll put shit in he'll put a freestyle together on you, and it's like, yo, people be like, yo, listen, stop, stop, leave it alone, Meek, because you have too much. He has too much ammo at this point. He has too much ammo.
You can't look at this point. I can make a diss record about Meek Mill. He couldn't come back now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, bro, just chill. Like, I need you to sit down and sit in the corner somewhere. Go talk to Diddy. Get whatever stuff.
Do whatever you gotta do. Take a sabbatical. Like don't draw attention to yourself.
And you need to come out with a classic album. Your next album better be fire. You better come out like Kobe playing after the allegations.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like your next album depend on it.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're right, Jessica. You need to go sit down and think about what he did.
Yeah, please.
So,
and,
like,
and stay off of social media. What? Like, I be thinking sometimes people don't have bars for nobody because they done said everything they was gonna say on damn social media.
Everything on Twitter now. Like, yo, I can't say that's the beauty about our old, like the old rap beef used to everything used to get aired out on the track.
On
everything that you hear, everything you hear now you see on Twitter. But anyway, we turning into old heads talking about hip hop.
Yeah, no, but still, we can say that because it's kind of like it's like taking the sting off it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna release this on Twitter, and then when I make a song about it, it's like, yeah, you told us that like a month ago, bro. Like, it's not really like we have a 24-hour news cycle. It's not really important anymore.
Not at all. You know? Like, so going back to the original topic, though, I feel like the reason I feel like Cole had the better exchange. I don't feel like the like that verse. I feel like the like that verse and a lot of Kendrick verses are like really like big on like hype. And like it don't really be a whole lot of substance to what he be saying.
He's aggressive. He's aggressive. He's aggressive.
Now, don't get that misconstrued. Kendrick has a lot of substance in all of his music.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the little jabs he take, the best diss he had was the Big Sean. That was on Heart Part 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like these little bars he sent in like that were mostly for Drake. And then Cole jumped out with 7-minute drill or whatever, and it was nice. And it was just a little jab, like, hey, chill out before I come harder than this on the fall off. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the way Drake, and not for nothing, of the three of them, Cole been rapping like the best rapper out for the last 2 or 3 years.
He's been putting in the hours.
He's been putting in
the hours and
while Kendrick's been home meditating with dirt in his toes and
whatever
the Jesus crown on his head, like Cole been in the studio.
He's been honing his craft. Cole is that dude who like there's like, oh, he's a writer. It's like if you want to be a writer, you got to write every day. He's that dude who's like, I'm gonna write every day and get better every day. That's Cole is actually he worked himself into this position.
And you can watch the progression because you can tell he heard what everybody used to say about him. Oh, your beats are trash or your beats are boring, which is crazy to me because he's made fire ass beats for other artists, but then his beats for his own albums be kind of like, eh. But he heard everybody say, oh, your voice isn't dynamic enough. This isn't that. Like, and he went back and you could tell that he actually took that into consideration and he worked on his craft. Yeah. To me, you got my respect off GP, if nothing else. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like 7-Minute Warning was better than Like That Verse, but Like That Verse was only a verse. It was a couple lines here and there, and 7-Minute Warning was a song. But again,
can we also look at the fact that Kendrick, every time he does something like that, with the exception of the Heart Part 4, he does it on somebody else's song?
Yes. Let's talk about that.
What's that about?
We can make the same case that Cole's best verses are on other people's songs.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the best verses. And Cole, I think he does that intentionally because we'll talk about that. But like, something about when Kendrick gets on somebody else's song, he has the desire to diss people because the first time he did it, again, going all the way back to Control.
Yep.
That wasn't his song. That was Big Sean's song. And they have everlasting beef for whatever reason now.
Yeah. And so shout out to Jay Electronica who had the best verse in that joint.
Yes, and kind of like fake moonwalk backwards into the background.
Because that's when Kendrick got on there, named everybody's name. And that really wasn't even. If you go back and you listen to what he was saying on that song, it really wasn't even. He wasn't really dissing nobody. He was just letting y'all know, like, y'all my homies, but I'm about to come take y'all heads off.
Yeah, but this is the competition, and that's the thing. It's like the thing I think people got so up in arms, or not up in arms, but like excited about was he said their names.
Yeah,
he named his opponents. He said, I am coming after these people. You're my friends, but in competition, I'm coming after you.
Absolutely.
And again, that was like, I feel like the last time we heard somebody say, yo, you, and you, I'm like, I want everything. I want the whole, I don't want just the smoke. I want the whole fire pit. I want all of it.
Right. You know what I mean? Don't waste nothing on nobody. Give it all to me.
Right.
And it's like, that's a wonderful thing. I think hip hop needed it at that time. It reminded me, the way it shook up everybody reminded me of 98 when DMX dropped "Get at Me, Dog," that black and white grimy video, it shook the whole industry of how everybody functioned. You know what I'm saying? People forget that little run when he came out, but I'm like, that's to me what happened. He shook it up like, hey, this is a contact sport. Like, we ain't doing no more of that shiny suit shit. We ain't dancing. We got bars. You know what I'm saying? What you got? So I love that. As a former like artist myself, I love that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Kendrick's disses don't really do it for me, except for the Heart Part 4. That to me was a beautiful diss record. Like Big Sean to me just got, but him and Big Sean are weird too, because they got like 3 songs together, but they be beefing.
Yeah, what is the origin of that beef? Does anybody know?
I think it was because Big Sean said something in the interview after the Control verse. He had
said
something,
I mean, all right, but like everybody did. You had people making diss tracks to Kendrick. We wouldn't even mention like whatever. Yeah, you know.
But you know, we've been on this topic for a minute. I'm like Kendrick to me, hands down, king of hip hop right now. Cole's coming for the crown. I feel like with Fall Off. Drake, sales-wise, Drake ain't even a rapper to me no more. He's just a pop artist.
I wanna say before we move on to anything else, I wanna say this. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like Drake used Jcole as a shield with this.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm tired of that. I'm tired of from before Pusha T, from Joe Budden. He always uses something as a shield.
Yeah. And
I think with Kendrick, hopefully, and this is why I fuck with Kendrick. He's gonna say, "I'm gonna talk to you." From the BET cipher took him out. I'm gonna tuck that sensitive rapper back in inside his pajama clothes.
Been talking to Drake a long time.
I'm coming for you, and if you eventually you won't run out of things to stand behind. And I think hopefully we're getting to that point, because it's like,
I mean, we at that point now, because at this point, hell, if Drake don't say something, you can't claim to be the king of hip hop no more. You can't claim to be the GOAT of nothing. Especially
the dude who made you got to respond within 48 hours. Remember with me,
right? It's the back to back. Hey, like I've been 4 days. Nigga, where y'all at? Right. So it's like, but Drake he's the same dude who said, "I've been waiting for 4 days, nigga. Where y'all at?" Right? He's the one who said that. So where is he? Drake, man, Drake is the king of this. He's the king of subliminal dissing. He's the king of, I'm gonna throw these stones, hide my hands. I'm gonna look over this way, act like I didn't do it. Right. So I like you. After the allegations, you gotta. You really got to bring your bars, man. You got to bring you got to come with some like lyrical miracle. This need to be comeback season. Yeah. Heartbreak Drake. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what? If he doesn't come with that, then I don't think we need to hear nothing.
I don't think he will. You know why? You remember that song off of Pusha T's album called Nostalgia?
Yes,
it was him and Kendrick, right?
That verse is amazing.
I think as soon as Drake comes out and says something to Kendrick, Pusha T and Kendrick are gonna do a song together. I guarantee you. It's you don't think so?
I don't think Pusha would do that.
You don't think so?
Just kind of the type of like egomaniac I feel like Pusha is in I guess a good way. Yeah, he gonna want all the smoke.
Yeah, he gonna want to try to. He like I need to do this myself.
And as big of a fan of Pusha as I am, he don't belong in this conversation.
No, I'm not saying he is. I'm saying he has a personal issue.
What, don't you think that would make Kendrick look weak though? If Kendrick went and got Pusha,
no, I'm not. Diss record. I'm not saying a diss record. I'm talking about just a song. Just on some like on some cerebral shit. Like, I'm doing some. I'm going to do it. Let me just do the song with Push on some humble nothing. Cause Drake be doing that type of stuff. Drake, I rolled down here playing AR Ab. I'm gonna do a song with AR. What? He do?
Like, you ain't listening to no damn AR Ab.
But he knows that him and me weren't cool. So what if Kendrick do some shit like that? Like, I'm gonna just do this song, this verse with Push. And
with that context, I can see it. But they already did the one, so I mean, they could do another one. I can see that. So hold up. Do you think Drake responds?
No, not in any direct way. I'd be very surprised if he responds in any sort of direct way.
If he did respond, do you think Kendrick worried about it?
No. Now, the last time Drake responded to Kendrick's Control verse was that shit remix with him, my man Juicy J, and when him and Future were cool, and his boss was mad. It was so light. It was super light. It was tissue paper, man. I was like,
I guess that's a question for everybody in the comments. What's the last time Drake really rapped on a song? Like really rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. I can't think of like one really good like 16, like a full 16. Not because even that the timestamp he did 8 a.m. in Toronto on the last little joint. That wasn't even that good compared to some of the previous ones, which to me, you know what I mean, we're getting into the weeds a little bit, but
he was biting Dice Raw and biting Fontaine.
Oh, listen, people don't talk about
Tanya
that.
Morgan era.
Yo,
Tanya Morgan era.
He stole Fontaine whole style from Little Brother.
Yeah,
he Shang Tsung, my man. They did the song on Comeback Season, and then my man basically just was like style unlocked him.
Like, oh, Drake was sing too. Oh, I like that. Let me check that out.
Straight up, Drake take the style of everybody he worked with, and then come and then do whatever he does. It's like I don't see how people can consider him the GOAT of anything.
That's the problem. Because remember, he said something about XXXTentacion when he was alive, and then he went and did a song that sounded just like him. And I'm like, yo, like you jump on the people's wave. I remember when he hopped on like a. Remember when people was sending like doing like Wayne was doing freestyles over other people's beats, right?
Yeah.
While people were doing. I remember when he hopped on. I was like, I didn't think people still did this. He hopped on like when Fetty Wap was big. He hopped on like a Trap Queen like a fake type of. Yeah. I'm like, yo, bro, like you wasn't. Did y'all even speak? You know,
like Fetty Wap. Listen, we've gotten too far.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything that can be said other than unless Kendrick actually responds to 7-minute drill or 7-minute warm-up. I think this is gonna die where it's at.
Yeah,
I don't think Kendrick probably not dropping another album for another 4 years. I don't think Drake's gonna respond at all, and if he does, it's gonna be a subliminal.
Yeah.
Cole's got the fall off coming, and I think that's gonna be an amazing project based on what he's been doing. So I think by the end of this, we might be having a different kind of conversation about who's the king right now. But you got to give it to Kendrick. I mean, I've been on social media the last 3 days defending Cole all day. That's my guy. But you got to give it to Kendrick right now. He's the man. I also think I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna put, like I said, a little defense on Cole. In this age that we have, and Cole felt he was hearing. He wasn't. It's like Nas said, the streets keep calling. I heard it when I was asleep. Mm-hmm. But the internet was kept. Oh, yo, you not this, or how come you not this, or how come you not like? It's always like a constant like throw. There was constantly throwing at him like he's putting in such work ethic to grow that it's like people are like, well, what about you still ain't Drake, or you ain't Kendrick, or you ain't whatever, whatever. It's like, so I feel like with that he felt like he had to respond. Yeah. And I think that was a moment of I guess like peer pressure or fan pressure. He felt like people, it's like if I didn't say anything, people will be disappointed in me, which is why when he announced he said it wasn't right with his spirit, it wasn't, because he did something that was antithetical to who he is. He shouldn't have. I mean, but he said in the joint a long time ago, he said if I diss a rapper, it's gonna be legit. Right. Like it ain't gonna be because I ain't selling, it ain't gonna be because of this, it ain't gonna be because of that, it's gonna be because we actually have beef. I think him and Kendrick are too close as far as personal relation. Yeah. But at the same time, at the same time though, this shit is rap, bro. Yeah. Like you came here to rap. You said you're the greatest. That's like we give LeBron a lot of mess, and we never say he never be LeBron because he'll never be Jordan because early in his career he didn't have that killer instinct, right? Yeah. I don't see how you can look at Cole and not think the same thing. Your whole career, you've been saying that you're the greatest, or people been saying that you're one of the greatest, but you ain't had the killer instinct. You ain't had that game. You ain't had that season to let people know, like, hey, I'm really that guy. And you had an opportunity, and then it's like, oh, my spirit. And it's like, okay, guy. We can't. I can't know. And I saw Styles P mention this. He said this. The rapper part of me is saying,
I'm disappointed that you didn't go after him. But this, protect your spirit and mental health part of me is saying you should do that. Now I agree he should do that. Protect your mental health. Don't do nothing that you feel is gonna put you in a place that you don't need to be, because that's all you got. But like you said, it's hip hop. At the same time,
all I would have asked.
Don't put yourself in that position.
All I would have asked is that he didn't make the apology. Just don't make no more records.
Yeah.
Call Kendrick. You got his number. Call Kendrick.
That's right.
Hey, bro.
Right.
Hey, man. Look, I was wilding, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to do it like that to protect your spirit, just don't put no more records out.
Right.
Don't go on stage and apologize. Like who is like, it makes you look also extra soft.
It makes you look like, oh, I can't handle this, I'm gonna leave. Like,
right.
And
as a representative of North Carolina, bro, like, like you kind of let me down on that one, because I was ready to talk all of my shit.
But let's let him. I'm gonna say this as a person who, as a black man, as a brother, as an artist, as a person who sometimes you have stuff on your spirit. We do need to allow him as a person that ability to say, yo, I messed up. Now, the way he went about it, I wouldn't have done that shit on the tour. I'm sorry.
Well, he was at Dreamfest. He was at Dreamfest, which is his festival.
Yeah,
he was headlining.
I'm sorry. I was wilding. Like, it wasn't, he didn't even say it like that. Like, damn, I was wilding. My fault. Like, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm sorry. Like, I shouldn't have done
that.
He's
like, man, it was just been sit right in my spirit. I didn't sleep good the last 2 nights.
You should have just been like, called him and been like, before you even drop the tape, call him and be like, yo, listen.
I'm about to drop something.
Drit, I'm about to drop something. And I want to know I want to know what your thinking was when you put this out, because if it was on some rap or whatever the case is, I just want to know where you at, because if I come at this, I want to make sure that I'm justified in coming at you with this.
Right. You make that phone call before you drop the verse.
Right.
You don't make it after.
Right.
After you drop the verse, you drop the verse.
Drop it too late. Now you want to stage apologize.
Now you tell me you want to take it off streaming. Like, bro.
You know what the problem is? I'm sorry, Cole. You gonna be the new pop shit apologize nigga, just ask Kiss. That's what you gonna be. You gonna be the new pop shit apologize. Like, you can't do that.
You put yourself in so much worse of a position. You could have just not said nothing else.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, man, listen. So pop shit apologize. Go ask, man. Mama Hov.
Exactly.
Mama Hov got everybody out here apologize.
Right. And that's it. But that's the thing. It's like, you like.
Shout out to Gloria Carter.
Yes, sir. My problem is, I mean, just it's a bad look. It's a bad look all around. It's not a good look. It's not.
Yeah. To me, it's just like, bro, if you would have just put it out, not said nothing else, let that next album come out, let that speak for yourself. Cool. Nobody can question you. At least you got back. At least you got in the ring. Drake ain't got in the ring.
Right.
But it's like, bruh.
What if Kendrick responds is like, yo, like, it's rap, but that's my brother.
You know what time it is? I don't know.
I'm not saying he's gonna do that.
If Kendrick responds and he says anything, he's gonna be good. He's gonna if he says anything and he references the apology, look, if he's a killer like he say he is, I'd have the audio from the recording of the apology as the intro.
But that's your man's though.
Nah, fuck all that. This hip hop.
I know it's hip hop, but we're not talking about like, oh, this is just some dude I don't really know or I've met a few times.
Nah,
this ain't.
But again, he said all the way back in the Control verse, this is hip hop, so these niggas should know what time it is.
All right, yeah, you right.
And then look, you don't put that on the internet. You put that apology on the internet.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Even if Kendrick don't do it, the next time he drop a hard verse that sold any kind of subliminal, somebody on the internet is gonna take that audio and splice it with that song, and now that's gonna be a thing. Yeah, I guarantee you that somebody's done that already.
He's literally fallen on his sword. He's literally falling on his own damn sword.
And it make you look so soft, bro. Like it just make you look so soft as a rapper. And everybody was literally just about to give. Everybody was at that point where they were giving him all the clout that he could possibly be the best out. And then he said this, and he just like
it was like, yo, you stepped into the octagon, you stepped into the Coliseum, you put your helmet on, and then he was like, you was about to take your sword out there. You said, nah, I'm gonna take my helmet off. I don't really want to do this.
Like, yeah, no, I don't really feel it. You know what it remind me of? It remind me of Vontae Davis quitting in the game at halftime.
Yeah.
Or Antonio Brown leaving at halftime.
But that could have been mental
in the middle of the game.
That could have been CTE. I don't know. With Antonio Brown, but
Cole must got PTSD from something.
From
because the thing is, Cole had some good bars too. Cause he could have been like, I'm the reason you got on in the first place. He could say that to Kendrick because he's the one that told Dr. Dre about Kendrick Lamar.
I don't know what his thinking was when he said, I'm going to do this in public. He could have said, yo, you could have said that for the documentary, bro. For like a deleted scene in the documentary.
The DVD features, you know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, you know, like on truthfully, like after this whole Kendrick thing goes off, like I ain't even really want to do this. Like,
and not for nothing, he said all that apology, and then he performed like his like song "Love Yours," which is a great song.
Yeah.
Right, but it's like this just why'd you do this to us, man? Why'd you do this? Why'd you put us in this position? Now we got to look at you sideways. And it's like now I've been watching people talk shit all day about Cole, and I can't even really say nothing because it's like you apologize.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's a bad, like nobody must have known he was gonna go up there and do that because it's a bad, like I'm not gonna say it's gonna hurt his album sales, but people are definitely gonna be like it
ain't gonna get him the new fans. He ain't gonna get no new fans off. No. All the millions and millions and millions of Cole fans are gonna listen to the album and stream. It's gonna be crazy. But look, we done talked this shit.
Yeah, we talked this to death.
WrestleMania. Hold up, before we get into WrestleMania weekend, Stand and Deliver. Do we even want to talk about Stand and Deliver? I personally feel like Stand and Deliver, which is the NXT. For people who don't know, Stand and Deliver is like NXT WrestleMania.
Right.
Yet somebody just made a good point in the comments. It might be a plan. You know what? I definitely think Kendrick and Cole got together real quick, and they was like, "Well, your album's about to drop. Let me throw you this alley-oop."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, Stand and Deliver is NXT's WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Everybody showed up to watch one match, really.
Yeah. The headline.
Is it me, or was this like the most boring pay-per-view you probably watched? NXT Tuesdays is more exciting than this pay-per-view was.
Yeah, like I said, I got Peacock back to watch WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver. And I had something to do during the middle of the day, so I didn't get to see Stand and Deliver. And I start Stand and Deliver, and I see this multi-man tag match. I don't really like multi-man matches. It's just too much. I don't like
six-man tags.
What the hell is that? I'm not a big fan of. It's too much going on, and there's always extended selling. I got hit, and now I have to roll under the ring to for these guys to do their thing, and it's like that's not. You make it look terrible.
How do you feel about Lyra losing the to
Roxy? I like Roxy. I've been watching Roxy since Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. I think she's small, but she has charisma. She's CM Punk's other daughter, basically.
Yeah,
I think she has a lot of charisma. I didn't like Lyra Valkyrie. I didn't think she had any charisma.
Lyra's boring. She's the most boring women's champion. Honestly, I feel like she only really won because so let's go back. Tiffany Stratton was the champ, right?
Right.
Tiffany Stratton is killing it, so she has to go up to the main roster, right? So they bring in somebody she can lose to so that she won't lose no credibility. Right. Becky Lynch. Lynch ain't never had the NXT women's title. It makes sense, right? She gets that title. She hands it off to Lyra, who was her I don't know, understudy, I don't know, whatever. And it's they from the same country or whatever. And so she passes it off to Lyra. Lyra's a boring ass champion. Completely. They try to bring in the young lady Tatum. To spice up her storyline. Yeah. Tatum Paxley to spice up her storyline, which I like Tatum Paxley. She's nice. But they had to bring her in to spice up Lyra Valkyria, and it's like Lyra's a champ. You are the most boring champion I've ever seen. And it's like, I'm so glad she lost. Roxanne going heel, beating her that. my only thing is now. Oh, and not for nothing, they just announced that they're gonna have the women's North American Championship now, so there'll be 2 belts for the women's division in NXT.
I was thinking about that.
Good.
I thought they were gonna do like a Mildred Burke deal, but that's good.
Yeah, no, there's too many women wrestlers right now. They needed another belt.
They also need to bring back the women's tag team championships over there.
They really need to bring back the cruiserweight and the hardcore championship belts too. That's another thing. But I think Lyra losing was great. Roxanne is way more exciting than her.
Yep.
But I also think Lyra's one of those good jobbers that she can wrestle real good, but she's just boring.
She has no charisma. She
reminds me of like hardcore Holly.
Or Fifth Finley. She's a good hand. She's a good hand. She can make you look good, but nobody wants to hear what she has to say. She doesn't. Nobody's cares. Yeah.
And then her fits are boring. She's supposed to be a Valkyrie, dog. Like, what are you wearing? Like that little. Like, what do you got going on? Your intro was boring. Like you the champ. You got the most boring intro. Anyway. So
her presentation wasn't good.
No, so I was glad she lost. But the match itself was boring. It went on like 5 minutes too long.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin defending the tag team titles against Nathan Frazier and Axiom.
And some other. Who else? The other guys?
It was only they did the 6-man tag a week ago or whatever, or
you're right.
Big thing or whatever on WrestleMania night 1, right? But then. It was Baron, the Wolf Dogs versus the Speedy people.
Right.
So that match was way too long. Like I get they wanted to make Nathan Frazier and Axiom look good, but Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker should have destroyed them.
They should have just ran through them. What the hell?
That should have been like a 5-minute match. Like legit. They got Braun Breaker on SmackDown just spearing people and pinning them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like straight out of their shoes. And you mean to tell me Nathan Frazier little self took him 10 minutes? Like, you know what I mean?
Get out of here.
So okay. Then then Ilya Dragunov, another boring ass champion. Like the Don, I don't understand how the Don didn't win that match. They done built his stable up.
He added a consigliere and all that.
Yeah, too. Like they done built the whole thing up. Then Stacks gave him the brass knuckles. And he's like, I don't want it like that. I'm gonna go get it regular, and then lost.
Yeah.
Like, how you lose?
Are they turning him face, you think?
Who, the Don?
How do they turn an Italian organized crime group?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Because like, how you at the end of the day, you had 3 people at the ring. Nobody distracted the ref, so he can get something off. Nothing. Like, come on, we done seen the Bloodline do this. Y'all know how to do this. Somebody get in front of the ref. Somebody hit him with something.
Hit him with the thing, and then
you know what I mean? 1, 2, 3. I don't understand how the Don didn't win. Ilya's nasty, but like
he's a great again, like you said, another great wrestler. And the Mad Dragon stuff's all right sometimes, but it got to be with the right person. He not
wore the red eyes. If Chris was up here, Chris would be going crazy about him not having the red contacts.
Yeah, the red. I like the red contacts. Yeah.
But it's like when he hit that torpedo Moscow to the back of the head, I was like, it's over. I was like, it's done. Like, go ahead and wrap it up. So then, okay, so that was that match. So let's just forget all that. Trick Williams, Carmelo Anthony. Like, come on. How do you feel about that match?
I was watching with my girl actually. I went to that crib over the weekend, and she was getting into it. She was like, Trick, like they went into the stands and Trick like slammed his head, and she's like, that wasn't good. And I was like, no, it wasn't. But I was like, watch the other guy, watch the little guy. And Carmelo, you know what, man? Trick has charisma, he's great. Carmelo, this is a proclamation. I'm gonna probably regret this. I think Carmelo Hayes is the next goddamn Shawn Michaels.
Oh no, that's not even nothing. That's for sure. That's Shawn Michaels.
That dude is
nice.
He is goddamn. He's Ricky Steamboat. He's sounding like freaking Mr. Perfect.
Listen, Trick might be the most popular wrestler since The Rock, but he can't wrestle.
Not
yet anyway.
No, not yet.
But you can see every match he add a little wrinkle
he's getting
to
a little
game.
better.
You see it, like him and Book. You can tell he's been working with Booker T because he's been adding those kicks, the spin kicks, and all that stuff to his repertoire, or whatever. But man, I do like the Trick knee though. He can hit that Trick knee.
Trick knee is nice
out of nowhere.
You know who I see? If you look at the promo between the two of them, and if you look at the documentary, I think Trick's been training with Punk.
Ooh.
And I think
Really?
if Trick trains with Punk, what he'll get is the idea of selling, building that heat. If he can get that, I think if he trains with Booker T for the moves and Punk for the psychology, I think he's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But also, you know what? It played well because they said, "Oh, he's not a wrestler. He's a brawler. He's a street fighter. He's a boxer.
He's a fighter.
He's a boxer." So it's not. So like we know how like we've seen MMA guys and all stuff going to pro wrestling, and some of it's been good, some of it's been bad. So he's gonna be more like, "This is what I know."
Yeah,
that can work for him for some time, I think. For this type of guy.
Man, I think that Trick. I think with Trick, man, the thing with Trick, the only thing I wish I would have seen from Trick when he was fighting Melo is when Melo went for the off the top rope, and I wish he would have hit him with that uppercut he be doing.
That'd have been good.
But he ended up the first time he did, he kind of caught him with like almost like a little side lariat kind of deal.
Something like that.
Then he hit him with and then he went up again, and then he did the Trick knee at the end, and that's how he won the match. Yeah. Right,
his timing just needs to be a little better. That's all. I think.
Trick is gonna go up soon. I think at this point, Trick is just staying in NXT so he can get the accolades. He won the North American Championship, then he lost to the Dom real quick. He's about to get the NXT title. Probably he's gonna be the one that beats Dragunov because he should have beat Dragunov before. But then Melo interrupted the match. I think people forget about that.
Right.
So he's gonna be the one that beats Dragunov. He's gonna be champion for like 5-6 months. He's gonna drop the belt to some crazy way, and then he's gonna go up. Because when he went up to SmackDown, the 2 or 3 times he went up to SmackDown, his pop was
crazy. His pop was
like
amazing.
He was getting bigger pop on there than
Melo.
Star. Like it was not even close. Yeah. And then his music, that whoop that Trick is just like the perfect music to just play, right? That shit almost hit like the Stone Cold, like glass break.
That trumpet.
Yeah, that shit's hard.
That hits like the glass break. I think I hope he gets 6 months to a year in NXT with the belt, only because I always worry, and this is maybe me having PTSD from the Vince era, with people coming up from NXT. And remember Keith Lee in
NXT, then
NXT
they trash when they go up,
murdering people, and then he goes up and he's a bum. Like it's like I worry about the roster and everything being so overfilled. I worry about that. So I think.
But you know what I was looking at the other day? I just found myself yesterday looking at the ages of like all of the big wrestlers right now, right? Mm-hmm. Sami Zayn just went in. We'll get to that. Yeah. Sami Zayn, 39. He's like 39, 38. Like, you know what I mean? All these people that we think are like fairly new are still like him and Kevin Owens are both almost 40.
Almost 40, yeah.
You got Damian Priest, who's 41.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? AJ Styles is 45.
God, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? All of these big names that are like the guys or the things that people, or supposed to be the next wave of guys, they're really old. So you got like
Roman's 38, I think, right?
Roman's 38, but he's been the champ forever. He can't do nothing else. Where does Roman even go from here? Roman about to go chill out.
Hollywood. That's where he goes.
That. Right? So you got cats like Braun Breaker, who's 25, Tiffany Stratton, who's 24. Yeah. You got Carmelo's 29, Trick is 29. These, like they are primed to be the next run of wrestlers for the next 10 years, right? And you got people like Wes Lee. People forget about Wes Lee. He hurt.
He's hurt. I was thinking about that even today. He's hurt. He really hurt.
Yeah. You got to think he would have before Oba Femi won the title and beat Dragon Lee. Wes Lee was about to win the title.
Yeah.
So it's like people like when Wes comes back, he's gonna come.
I think he's Sean's boy, like for real. I think Wes is really like that's his man.
You can tell, like you can tell who Shawn Michaels is grooming at NXT.
Right.
Like I'm excited to see what he does on the main roster. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see what they do with Braun, because Braun, honestly, if he stays on SmackDown, he gotta going after the US title in probably the next year or two.
Yeah.
Like who really can beat Braun Breaker on SmackDown, really? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody. Yeah.
Logan Paul. I love Logan Paul, by the way. Logan Paul is great, but he's gonna go after that. Now that they split the belts back up, I think that Logan Paul eventually he goes after probably 2 years, he's going after the title.
Which one?
The undisputed title. I mean, that's the SmackDown title. Does that mean, okay, spoiler, but does that mean Cody Rhodes is going to SmackDown now?
So I think that's the thing because, well, here's the thing: he would have to because Damian Priest is on. Well, we got to jump ahead. We spoiling.
So look, we got anything else to say about Stand and Deliver?
No, that was the only match you wanted to see.
It's Trick Williams. Hey man, salute to Trick Williams. I'm glad he won. If he would have lost somehow, like
there was no way he was losing that.
Yeah. So Melo, I don't think Melo is even on NXT after this. Melo's going straight to SmackDown. So that's done. Stand and Deliver was kind of it was underwhelming. I like the main event, but you know it is what it was. Let's get into WrestleMania Night 1. WrestleMania Night 1. What was your standout from Night 1?
Sami Zayn versus Gunther.
Yeah.
That was Rocky, basically. That was Rocky.
That's exactly what
they wanted to do. His wife in the thing, you know, that was
Sammy, man. I love that for Sammy though.
Yeah, me too.
After going through everything he went through with the bloodline and all that, then like kind of losing his confidence and trying to having to build himself up. And I love that Chad Gable was like, "Hey man, you owe me one." Like, Because Chad Gable, my whole thing with Gunther's another one of them cats. He was too good to be Intercontinental Champion. He should have been. He should have been the WWE champion.
He needs to be in the world title picture. That's why, because everybody was like, "Oh, there's no way. How does Sammy beat Gunther?" I'm like, do you not see that this man needs to be in the world title picture? Like, how do you not see that?
I think Gunther, like now that he's lost that belt, though, how long do you think before he challenges Damian Priest?
I think he's gonna do it within the next few months. To be honest, this is just me, and you know, this is just me fantasy booking. I think the best match you can get in this current championship era is going to be Gunther versus Cody. I'm going to tell you why. It's going to be old school wrestling. Gunther is from where? He's from Austria, right? Mm-hmm. He's big. Listen. It's going to be Rocky versus Ivan Drago.
I think Gunther might fuck around and beat Cody too.
He probably will. I think he will be the one who will take, because like Cody sells well with that suffering, like you know, Gunther with them big the slaps. He gonna slap. He gonna cut his hand. He gonna make his chest bloody.
Listen,
that Gunther versus Cody is the match to make. And Gunther has stooges.
We getting to Seth freaking Rollins. Chill, Ruby. Like in the comments going.
Hold on. We're gonna get to Seth Rollins because you know what? All right, let's get.
Seth is my favorite. So okay,
let's get to that.
I knew Seth was gonna lose though.
Oh, of course.
To Drew McIntyre when Becky Lynch lost.
Yeah. Yeah. They need to take a break. They need time off.
They tired. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But you know how I knew Seth was gonna lose when they kept mentioning, "Oh, Seth's back. His knee." I'm like, "Yo, he's making him sound like he's broken." Like, yo, give him a break then.
Right. You know. Hey, listen. I would say this. I love Seth Rollins' outfits. Right. Mm-hmm. So night 1 outfit was
Nah, your man can't dress in a tablecloth.
Listen,
your man can't dress in a tablecloth.
So night 2 was crazy. I think the entrance with all those people from that little folk band or whatever was dope. Yeah. But man, his WrestleMania 39 entrance might be the greatest entrance I remember ever.
Oh yeah.
When he walks out with that robe on, that long ass robe. WrestleMania 39. Anyway, so yeah, Damian Priest. So Drew McIntyre, first of all, Drew McIntyre gets the win over Seth Rollins. Right. They give him his win in front of the fans, let him kiss his wife and all that shit. That's a beautiful moment.
Yeah, that's Priest what he wanted, right? He wanted the win in front of fans, right? Because he didn't get it when he had the belt before, right?
Priest comes out there. Listen, no.
Go back before that. Because he goes in front of CM Punk's commentator. He goes in front, he's talking all this shit.
Yeah.
And it cost him. And I didn't see that coming. And he's talking all this crap, and he stands up, and Punk knocks him down, starts beating him, and then almost takes the brace off, uses it as a knuckle, punches him, and almost on cue, Damian Priest is like, the person everybody called the stupidest. Oh, he's not gonna cash it in. Your man came at the right time, right there.
I had predicted that he would cash it in. Obviously, everybody knew he was going to cash it in sometime this weekend.
Right.
So my two predictions were, if Cody and Seth won the tag match, he would cash it in on Cody. Right. Okay. But if they lost, which obviously they did, he was going to cash it in on Drew McIntyre. Right. Which obviously that's what happened.
Right.
I thought that the Judgment Day were going to break up.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, because you got like over the last month or so, Rhea hadn't really been with the group, and when she was with the group, they was arguing between who was the leader and who wasn't the leader. Then they lost the belts. They lost the belts, the tag belts or whatever, and then which that was a brilliant way to split up the tag belts. I feel like. I love the way they did that. I love that match. I feel like the match itself had some trash ass competitors in it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand DIY being there.
The ladder match.
Yeah, the ladder match.
Yeah, I don't know. DIY and their DX
to me, but I love the New Day, but I don't feel like they should have been there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But you know why the New Day was there, because to me, they're the guys who they had their time. They're helping the new generation do what they got to do.
It was an incredible disservice that the Creed brothers weren't in that match. Like,
I don't listen, man. A ladder match.
They should have. Could you imagine him Brutus bombing somebody through a table? Like,
he would have killed someone. That's the
problem.
But
which is what we need. Oh, we lost my camera.
They would have had another Bless the Dead Owen Hart situation. Oh, he's not moving. Oh, he's gone. Them dudes is too big, and they're not.
Julius Creed by himself. That dude, he's the only person I've seen powerbomb two people with one hand. Like, this man's a monster.
He's those boys are too big to be. They need a little more control, because they the type. What they used to say, puppies with big paws. They the types of dudes who they'll throw you and like, oh, I didn't think it was that bad, and they throw you.
I mean, you done threw halfway across the ring and shit.
Across the ring, they throw you to the stands, and it's like, oh shit.
But I don't think that who ended up winning for Raw.
R-Truth and Miz. They're losing that belt.
Yeah, they're not having the belts long.
No.
I think that
they're probably gonna lose it to Judgment Day.
Nah. Hold up, JD and Dom?
Either JD and Dom or Finn and Dom. I think Finn going after Sami Zayn. Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah. Because if they're going to keep Judgment Day together, it makes the most sense, right? Yeah, now they got to give them the most power. They got the women's champ, they got the men's champ. Right. Then you got Finn. Finn should be the Intercontinental, or he should be going after Logan Paul next. Right. And then you got JD and Dom who should be going after the tag belt.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So if they're going to go that route, I think it makes the most sense for Finn to go get him a lower tier belt.
Right.
But yeah, no, I don't think R-Truth Miz keep the belts very long.
No,
they'll win a couple matches as the champs, and then they'll drop the belts at like SummerSlam or something. You know what I'm saying? The next big pay-per-view thing.
Yeah.
Then who got it for SmackDown? Oh,
Eitan Down.
Well, actually, Grayson Waller and my man, Austin Theory, they might keep the belts for a while because they run with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So I think they might keep the belts for a little bit on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Unless that ain't gonna happen.
What you think?
Like the Usos get back together.
Nah, I don't see that happen. There's gonna have to be they're gonna have to build up to that. Well,
because the bloodline really didn't get destroyed like we thought it would get. They got beat.
It didn't yet. We don't know what's going on there. And they just signed. You heard they just signed Jacob Fatu.
They did?
Yeah, man.
Jacob's coming up? Yep. Yo, how long for Zilla comes up?
Yo, man.
Have you seen Zilla Fatu's matches?
Yeah.
This man looks like a whole problem. Yeah. He looks like everything they thought Solo Sikoa was going to be.
Right. Yes. And
Solo's got to be the worst enforcer in all of WWE history.
Yeah.
He the smallest one out of the group. He don't really do nothing. He can't talk. Like, it's like, yo, why are you even really here?
Yeah, and yesterday, we'll talk about night 2. But yesterday, I don't know what kind of directions they was giving him, but it's like, he's like, oh, get up. I'm like, yo, like, pick him up and put him on him. Like what?
Yeah, like what are you doing?
Have you never been a heel stooge before? Like when he pick him up and drag him over.
He's like, end it. Nah, man, hit that man a couple more times.
Yeah, come on, what the hell, man?
Doing?
Like, what do you? Like, if I'm Roman, I'm like, Roman's like, I'm getting up. I'm like, what are you here for, bro? What are you doing?
So not for nothing. That's around the time of the match where I was starting to get irritated with Roman Reigns, because at that point now you done had like 5 people come in and fight, and you still laying on the ground. Why are you still so tired? Get your ass up and super punch this man,
right,
and be done with it. And it's like, yo, he was just dragging that match out. So which I love the match, but we skipped some stuff.
Yeah.
So that was night 1. Night 1 ended with.
But we didn't go to night 1. We were talking about night 2 because we talked about Drew and.
We're done with night 1.
Well, we want to talk.
Was there anything left on night 1 to talk about? That was worth it.
Only thing I like was Sammy brought that El Generico brainbuster back. That was cool. My girl thought that Gunther broke his neck when he did that, because he came down kind of weird. I was like, ugh.
Man, Sammy caught him when Sammy ran behind him and caught him with that hula kick. That was like, Sammy trying to get it.
Yeah.
But I was like, that was just a really good match.
Yeah.
So going into night 1 ended.
Do we want to talk about the tag team match? Or nah?
The Almighty Prophets versus a
no. Rock and Roman versus.
I mean, that only thing disappointed me about that match. One, you could tell they was trying to preserve Seth Rollins for night 2.
They were also trying to preserve The Rock though. You saw him fighting Rollins.
He was tired, bro. You can tell.
Gassed.
Yeah, but I don't like that he beat Cody on that weak ass people's elbow or corporate elbow. Like I feel like he didn't even rock bottom Cody.
Yeah, he didn't. He hit him with the spine buster.
I don't think Rock did a rock bottom until night 2. He rock bottom John Cena.
He did, yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, yo, that match was disappointing, but it went the way I anticipated it going. You know what I mean?
It had to go to bloodline rules so Cody could overcome. That was what it was.
Yeah. They had to. So okay, let's talk about that for a second, right? People were mad that The Rock came back and he became the final boss. I thought that storyline was perfect, because it ended up being what it ended up being was old WWE versus like this new power structure, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the bloodline with Roman Reigns was representing on the wrestling side. They had it locked down. He'd been the champ for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And then now The Rock coming in with Endeavor, he's running shit on that side. So now you really got the whole Samoan dynasty taking over. So it's really them versus all of WWE.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was, to me, it was like the corporation, but not as much, because one thing I wish The Rock would have done was flex his power a little bit on the board. Because remember when he was about to pin the ref, he was like, the count out, he was like, you count, you're fucking fired. I'm like, yo, this dude is like, dope. No, if you start making that count out, I'm firing your ass. Like, it's like, okay, this is him using his power as he should, as a villain.
Correct. To me, that's exactly how you want to play it as corporate Rock, right?
Right.
The final boss. Listen, I love The Rock, right? The first time he came out with that new entrance with the lightning, he did that shit on Raw. I want to say it was the first time he did it, and he popped up perfect right when that lightning struck, and then he popped up and he was just there.
Yeah.
Every other time he did that shit, he did it trash. Now I do like that he added the little fire bull, Brahma bull.
Yeah, Brahma bull joint. Yeah.
But it's like, yo, that entrance could have been so much better, man. Like, and it's like, yo, like, what were y'all doing? Like The Rock, but it's like The Rock that disappointed me, but I understood why it played out, where it played out. Cody winning, beautiful moment, right? So we skipping. We done with that. We skipping all the way night 2, and we skipping all the way to the end. Cody versus Roman.
Right.
I feel like they missed an opportunity, not bringing Dustin.
Yes.
Dustin. Yeah. Over I thought it was dope that it was John Cena, because nobody expected John Cena.
Well, because also remember, Solo's the one who took him out.
Correct, which that made sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Jimmy came out, Jay took him out. Solo came out, John Cena came out because they had their little rival. Yeah. So I get it. I think I forgot about. I kind of disregarded that shit.
Yeah. It was happening.
I thought John Cena was done. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought he was finished. And listen, John Cena. John Cena, man, as a man that just cut his shit. Cut your shit off, bro.
Yeah, just cut it off,
like,
bro.
Just cut it off. Like, we don't want to see you do the comb over no more. Just cut it off, bro. listen, just do it.
Mike had to do it.
Then Undertaker pops out with the boom, and I love that they brought him out. He pops in, he choke slams, and the lights go back out, and he disappears again, just like in the old days, right?
Yeah.
But it's like it should have been
Dustin.
It should have been Dustin.
But they couldn't because Dustin's still in the contract at AEW.
But that's bullshit because they let old girl, the TNA champ, come out for Wrestle.
But no. I'm not saying that WWE wouldn't do it. I'm saying AEW probably wouldn't let us. Because remember, they were mad at Punk. They were mad at Ricky Starks for being at WrestleMania the first time. Because remember, him and Cody are best friends. They were mad at him for being
being there.
Yeah, Ricky also needs. Ricky, you need to be in WWE. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah. But everybody got excited because they thought Dean Ambrose came back.
Yeah,
then it was just Seth Rollins with the Shield thing on. Yeah. I think Seth Rollins really hurt his knee though.
Because I think so too.
He came in, took that punch, and laid there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think
said to Cody before that, I'm gonna be your shield.
Yeah, Seth. I think Seth. To me, just speak about Seth. I think on night 2, Seth
freaking Rollins.
Freaking Rollins, the architect, the visionary. I think he was Thor in Infinity War to me. He was the dude who came back and he was like, "Yo, listen, whatever happens, I'm here. I got you." And that paid off the original storyline where he betrayed Roman. And I kind of like when he was like, yo, he couldn't let it go. Like Roman, he sees Cody, he sees Seth, and he has to hit him because they kept talking about he said, yo, Cody, you think he's reliable? He's gonna betray you, he's gonna stab you in the back. He's not gonna be there when you need him. And Seth proved that he was there when Cody needed him. Yeah. And I think that pays off. That's really long-term storytelling. That pays off that entire thing. Like, you know,
not for nothing, the WWE is a masterclass of how to do long-term storytelling.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah!
Like it's when you really so I was a casual fan. I would say up until probably last year. I used to watch it when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With my mom's ex, right? So I would watch it with him, and it was dope, and I loved it. But then after that, I kind of faded away.
Yeah, we all faded kind of. Yeah.
Then I come back and I'm back into it, but I remember the Attitude Era. I was in it in the thick of the Stone Cold RapBeef and all that, you know. Yeah. So, and it's like I'm coming in and I'm getting story elements from way back then that they're playing into now. Yeah. And it's like, yo, that's as a writer, as a creator, you have to tip your hat to how they continue to write those stories, man. And it's really kind of amazing.
And you know what? I'm gonna credit that to Paul Levesque, to Triple H. He was there at that time, and you could look at him and tell it's like, yo, he'll be like, yo, this is the idea. We had this. Oh, do we still want to do that? Oh, because him and The Rock were talking about the documentary that they booked WrestleMania, and he was like, yeah, like let's do it like this. They really booked that long-term, that long-term feel to it.
Yeah.
Last year, somebody said, I was reading on the message board, somebody said that last night felt like the Return of the Jedi. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, because last year was Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was literally the rain. Like you couldn't do anything. You couldn't stop them. You couldn't stop them.
Not for nothing, I knew Triple H was like a genius way back in the day when they had that storyline where I want to say, somebody hit Stone Cold with a car, or somebody hit The Rock with a car?
Rikishi? Was it Rikishi? And he said, I did it for The Rock.
Triple H took credit for it at one point, and he was like, I'm the one that came up the most during the time you were out. I married the boss's daughter. And I did all these things, and I was like, yo, this shit is like diabolical.
Yeah. He's when he and I'm gonna tip my hat to him again. In his era, and I'm gonna say in mostly any era, with the exception of Roman, Triple H was the most hated. He was the reign of terror.
At any point, he was clearly the most hated.
He was just doing whatever he wanted, and I think with Roman looking at that, I think he let Roman Roman's like, yo, listen, we're gonna do I'm gonna do whatever the hell I'm gonna be like you, but on my own type of wild. Yeah. So it was like, I can't be beaten because literally to the point where, you see what it's like. They can't be beaten. I tried. Like we
Man,
tried.
when they was listing off the list of people that
Yo,
Roman had beat at the beginning of the match, I was like, yo, that's mad disrespect.
It's a crazy list.
Like, not for nothing, I love Roman, man. Roman being the asshole heel in the middle of the match, but he's like, yo, you see how he's like, you can't do like, and he's like calling out how nobody can be, everybody kicks out of the crossroads and shit.
Oh, he said, yeah, that move was trash. Yeah, I knew that move don't finish nobody. I just want to show him. Like, I'm like, yo.
I love how they built up to that too, where he was doing the triple crossroads, and every time he would both go to do the triple crossroads, somebody would come out.
Yeah,
but that was great too, right?
Yeah.
So overall, I love that. I love that match. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad Cody won. I don't think Cody's gonna be champ for a super long time. I think that after Roman being the champ for 4 years, they're gonna recycle those belts out quick.
They're gonna have to.
What I mean?
Like I said, I think it's gonna be Cody and Gunther, and Gunther's gonna,
Cody, Gunther. Then Priest probably gonna lose it to somebody, some up and coming cat. You know what I mean? But we talked about a lot of stuff. We did not talk about the women's three-man tag match with.
That was
ladies.
Was that night 2 or night 1? Night 1.
Right? I don't even. I think that was night 1.
Night 1, I think.
But Bianca, Jade, Naomi versus Damage Control.
So I wish I personally wish that was for the belts.
Right. I wish it was just a tag match. Like, why was it a 6-man tag? Who even cares about Dakota Kai? She shouldn't even be in the conversation.
Right.
Outside of just being the interpreter for the Asian girls.
Right. She's just a hanger on. And Asuka can speak English. I mean, she's kind of just a hanger on, I felt like. She's like you know who she's like? Full Force.
Yeah.
With Stab and what's his name? Who to do with the hat with the funny voice? The older brother. You know what I'm talking about. But she's like him. Like, it's like, yo, you can't beat nobody up. Like, what are you talking about?
Nobody. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you even here?
Yeah.
I love Asuka, not for nothing, right?
She's good.
She's hilarious, and she don't give a fuck. Like her and Kyrie or whatever that girl. They dance into Bianca's music.
That's what I like about them, because it's like the Joker. It's like Harley. It's like they like chaos. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, I'm gonna hurt you. You know.
I just wish that. I agree with you. It should have been Bianca and Jade versus them for the title.
Yeah.
To me, that would have been a much better match. I love Naomi. Don't know why she was there.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai trash. Don't know why you was there. Like, it's like that should have just been them versus them, and it would have been destruction everywhere around. Like, I think at this point, Bianca is just one of those people. She's just gonna be at every WrestleMania for no reason.
I also personally don't think she really I don't think she needs a belt at this point, like, to be a star. I think she's in that space where it's like
she's in that Becky Lynch space now.
Right. I'm just her. Yeah,
I'm just nice like that.
Yeah, I'm just dope. Although I would have liked it if instead of Naomi, I was wondering why Jada Parker or Lash Legend wasn't in that space. But
listen, you just said 2 names right there. They're my girls right there.
Because Legend, you know what? Here's the thing. Naomi's not big.
No,
she's not like Damage Control that heels and stuff. But we wanted to see them toss them up. We wanted to see them tossing them around. Come on,
she should have, for real. Jay should have been tossing them girls all over.
Yeah, like empty shirts. Come on,
like easy. But okay, I'm gonna backtrack for a second. Lash Legend, she had that match against Lyra last minute.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
was beating Lyra ass the whole match, and then they let her get pinned on some more fugazi shit.
Yeah, I think we had talked about that, and I think that Lash Legend should have won that belt at that point in time. I feel like
Lash don't win the women's North American Championship belt, I'm gonna be pissed off, because at this point, there's no reason why she don't have a belt. I'm
gonna be honest with you. Also, she need to get away from Metaphor. They kind of
What do you think about her and Trick Williams? Do you think they're gonna bring that back?
I think that's definitely a long-term storytelling. Knowing Shawn, that's long-term. I think that's gonna be long-term. I feel that's fine. Like an NXT Power Couple type deal. That'd be dope. I think personally, I think Noam Dar is just. I feel like Noam Dar is a guy who is a person people want to beat up, and that's it.
But he's a good ass wrestler though.
He's a great wrestler. But that's what I'm saying. He's a hand. He's a good hand.
Yeah. That other guy that's in there, I don't even know why he's there.
I don't know why he's there.
Jakara, she's dope, but she don't wrestle. Like,
she doesn't wrestle.
Me of Buddy, that Von Wagner's little dude.
Not Sterling. Mark Sterling, wasn't it? No, not Mark Sterling.
He
used to be in TNA though. That guy, Robbie.
Cash. Anyway, Jada Parker. Listen, Jada Parker is going to be the biggest women's champ of like in the next couple years. I think she's gonna be the next Bianca. I'm not gonna lie. She definitely got Bianca vibes.
I kind of wish she
was.
Yes. I kind of wish she was in the Pride though. I kind of wish that it wasn't B-Fab. I'm not, because I feel like Jada
makes more sense.
She makes more sense. She can wrestle, and she's that chick who can just like, I'm gonna just toss you. I think that they need to work on her mic skills before she goes up. That's the only thing that's really, because that little shit she does where yeah. Come on, man. Like, and you know what? It don't sound like her. It don't sound like that's her. It's like whoever you are, that's not who you are.
Right.
You know?
And it's like, she dope though. Like, she dope. And I mean, I saw her, I've seen her twice now at some NXT live events. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Yeah,
she
has the whole package. I think, except the talking, she's got the package.
The people that are there, I would have loved to see her fight. I would have loved to see her get to go one-on-one with Tiffany Stratton before Tiffany Stratton went up.
Yes.
But now, Ruka's back, so that's about to get exciting. You know, she about to get a belt. Because she like the female Hulk Hogan, damn near. It feels like.
Yeah, they really do. Really do. She has Bailey energy, like the hugger Bailey energy.
Bailey. Oh, speaking of Bailey and Io Sky, we done skipped over that.
That was a good match. That was a good match,
man. Bailey, that match was boring. Like, Bailey to me,
you thought it was boring?
It was super. Well, I like Io personally. I think Io, man, when she did that, the rose plant and she flipped out of that shit.
Yeah, that was dope.
I was like, Io might fuck around win. I was like, yo, Io might win this thing.
I didn't think Io was gonna. They needed to come up because it was that I helped you. I tried. I wanted this for us, and you just, that was what that was.
It makes sense. I don't think it makes sense for her to lose and for Asuka and Kyrie not to even put their belts up.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense.
One, like, when we started getting into like the little like nitty gritty parts of like WrestleMania and what about it, it just don't. That part didn't make sense. Like, why weren't their titles on the line? Why did she lose her title if they didn't lose their titles? It don't make that part didn't make sense to me. But I knew they had to let Bailey get her WrestleMania win.
Right.
Tiffany Stratton's coming for that belt though. She's losing that belt probably.
Yeah. But I think Bailey's okay with that. I think that Bailey is okay with, again, Bailey. I know you said she's not. She to me is in that space where we respect you for what you can do in the ring.
Yeah.
And
she's the last of the old guard though.
Right. We're not. She's the last of the 4 horsewomen. Well, I mean, Becky's gonna. We don't know where she's going, but
but she's the last one really.
Yeah.
Relevant right now. I mean, per se, because Becky definitely taking a break. Becky on that
got
book
a book
tour.
Yeah.
She ain't about to be wrestling. Seth about to be home with their daughter, chilling, icing his knee,
and his back, maybe whatever else he's got going on.
You know what I'm saying? So it's I think that Bailey's kind of they had to give Bailey that look just from like, yo, you've been here putting in this work. We needed to give you this, right? Yeah. But it's like, Tiffany Stratton, her and Braun Breaker are about to run through SmackDown. I don't think it's even close either. Like, who's on SmackDown really? Because they've been letting her dust people off on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she beat the brakes off Michin.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't I don't think she's had a match other than in the Hell in, was it not Hell in a Cell? It was the Elimination Chamber.
Chamber, yeah.
That's the only match she's been in. She struggled since she went up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even in that match, she was getting busy with the best of the best. But I don't know, man. I think she's coming for Bailey. I don't think it's gonna be pretty either. I think she about to have a nice little run when she gets the belt. Dang, bro. I think that's everything though. Do we miss any matches? Who saw something? Who saw something we missed? We got a couple people in the comments. Did anybody see anything we missed out here? So, Priest.
Somebody said. I was reading on a forum. Somebody said. The Street Profits and Bobby Lashley beat the KKK.
Straight up. Listen, I love the Street Profits. So I gotta say this for Chris, because hardcore WWE fan.
Yeah.
Montez Ford needs to go solo. I don't know why he's still with the Street Fight Profits at this point. I love Angelo Dawkins, but he kind of just boring. He holding Montez back, and at this point, Chris made when we were watching WrestleMania, Chris made a great point. Montez is at that point now where he's doing so much extra stuff, over the top stuff, he's gonna fuck around and hurt himself.
Yes,
because he's trying to stay relevant.
Yeah,
like he's trying to keep his name on everybody's tongues.
I think that he's at a point where this is the point where I remember a year or two ago, he had that window where everybody was like, this dude's the next, and people were talking about it. Like, I feel like
The Rock said he was the next one.
Yeah, The Rock said, and I'm like, oh, okay, so when you gonna break up the Street Profits? But then like a bunch of stuff happened, and it's like that window is like shrinking, and it's like you're getting older, you're getting more beat down.
He just like doing wild stuff.
You're
gonna
do something, and it's gonna hurt you.
Ran and jumped over the turnbuckle, and damn near flipped into the crowd. Like, gonna hurt himself.
They've got to pull a trigger on that one. They got to pull a trigger on that.
I'm just gonna say this: Ricochet, my man Ricochet, was the Intercontinental Champion before Gunther.
Right.
Montez Ford ain't won no solo belts. That don't make no sense to me.
Right.
You mean to tell me Ricochet can beat Montez Ford?
Well, but that's also because Ricochet was not in a tag team.
That's
and
true.
And the problem with wrestling period is that when you're in a tag team, you're in a tag team. Like that's like for some reason the logic never changed.
Beating people, the Street Profits be beating people. Like when's the last time they lost as a tag team?
Right.
Like it's like, why are y'all not champs? Why if y'all gonna keep them together, they should be the champs. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna keep them together, if you're not gonna let them be the champs, break them up. Let Montez go do his thing. Let Angel go do his thing. Right. It's like they can still be a stable and not be together. You know,
like I'm gonna go. I gotta go and do my own thing. Yeah.
But I tell you what though, Street Profits are the main reason Carmelo and Trick Williams broke up.
You think so?
Absolutely. They wasn't about the Trick Mello gang wasn't gonna go up and be the Street Profits too.
Two other black guys,
You know what I'm saying?
You know what, low key? I always in my head, I thought that Mello and Trick were gonna be on the Pride instead of the Street Profits. Because that's what it looked like Bobby was grooming them for.
I thought he was gonna come get them too.
Right.
That would have made more sense to me.
Yeah.
But then again though, with them fighting AOP and all that stuff, I ain't gonna say they couldn't beat him, but they're not big enough. Yeah. Like Melo not big enough to fight them boys like that. Nah. So it's kind of like playing the long game. I can see why they didn't do that. Yeah. But I can definitely see Melo coming up with them now.
Yeah.
Like, cause Melo gonna go up to SmackDown. He's already 2-1 on SmackDown right now.
Yeah.
Only lost to KO, which is a respectable loss. Nobody expected him to win that.
He also lost to Finn, so it might be 2-2.
No, I don't think he lost to Finn.
He didn't lose to Finn?
He lost. Him and Austin Theory had that match that got stopped.
Oh right, yeah. They heard Austin Theory botched. Yeah.
Because he beat Theory, he beat Grayson.
Yeah.
He lost to KO, and then I'll have to go back. I have to check the Finn one. I don't remember that. It might have been one of the weeks.
I feel like he lost to Finn because I feel like Seth went down. This is between the time. Remember when Finn was gunning for Seth with the new belt?
Yeah.
And I feel like Seth that day or that night when Cody was made. Remember they did that SmackDown that Tuesday night where it was Dynamite versus NXT. And I feel like Seth Rollins for some reason ended up on NXT, and the Judgment Day was beating him up. And this is when Trick had the Trick Dominic thing, and Trick and Mello helped out Seth Rollins.
Yep.
And then Seth, and it was kind of like, Seth was giving Mello the rub like a little bit.
Ain't Mello his protege?
Mello was his protege for like a good for weeks. He was like, I think this kid's the next one. So if
Mello don't get a belt in the next couple of years, I don't know what's gonna happen.
He's good, but I really feel like a great heel. He's gonna be a great heel. He's gonna be.
He's not a great heel. He's not a good heel. I think he had to be a heel for this story to make sense.
You don't think Melo's a great heel?
No, I think that I think he's a good heel. I don't think he's a great heel.
I think he's. I said I think he's going to be. I didn't say he is now. You don't think so?
I don't think he's gonna be a heel when he goes up. I think he's gonna be a face. Every time he's been on SmackDown, he's been wearing his old colors.
Right.
He's been wearing like the blues, the greens, the he ain't been wearing like the darker colors like we need on NXT. So I think when he goes up, he's just gonna be a face.
Yeah, I guess you know what, he's a smaller guy, plucky baby, like athletic.
But this is why they need that cruiserweight belt or the light middleweight, light heavyweight belt or middleweight, whatever kind of belt. Because they got when you look at the roster for Raw and SmackDown, they got like 100 people on each show.
Yeah.
And you only see like 20, 30.
Yeah.
On average. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't want the too many belts problem though. Maybe do shows. Maybe different shows.
I don't think it'll be too many belts though. Like you gotta have because at this point you don't have as many heavyweights. You have
right.
You have a bunch of cruiserweights that's never gonna beat the heavyweights. No offense to like Chad Gable, but he ain't beating Drew McIntyre. And he ain't gonna do it in a way that makes sense.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Like you're not losing to Chad Gable.
Right.
But Chad Gable would be like that dude if he had like a cruiserweight or light heavyweight kind of belt. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think they got to bring those belts back. Yeah. Because I get it. You don't want to have too many belts, but at the same time, you don't want to have too few.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you going to do? Because it creates, there's no parity at the top. Because nobody expects Ricochet to beat Seth Rollins.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so you put them against people that he ain't gonna win against. Like, he ain't gonna beat Gunther. Like, we seen that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Ricochet can do a lot of wild shit, and he should be winning matches.
Right.
But who is left for him to fight, really?
Right.
So either he has to go up, or he has to go back down.
They have to bring back. They probably bring back like a 205 or something. 205 or something, like some kind of, cruiserweight classic.
I think like that middleweight belt, you know what I mean? That'd be nice, man. I think that's how you fix it right now, or which they got the WWE Speed now.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that was interesting. I watched like one little round of it, but it's like just 3-minute matches. You know what I mean?
Like a tournament, right? Kind of deal.
Yeah. So I think with stuff like that, but I will tell you this. I think that with wrestling going back to Netflix, I think we're going back to the Attitude Era.
Oh, most definitely.
It's going to be a lot less censored. And again, with them going back to Netflix, I think we get the hardcore belt back.
Yeah.
I think we get a hardcore belt back now that we're going to be on Netflix. We ain't got to worry about blood and
the
cussing.
moment that CM Punk cursed and they bleeped it out, and he said, "Oh, my fault, we're not on Netflix yet." I knew that somebody that Triple H told them, "Yo, once we get on here, we gonna do whatever."
Exactly. So I think we got to get. I think this next 5-6 years is gonna be a beautiful like experience wrestling wise.
Yeah.
But on that note, brother, we've been on here a whole hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I appreciate everybody that came out tonight. We had a nice group of people in here. We had a lot of comments, a lot of interactions. You guys are lovely. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna try to be up here a little bit more regularly. But every time something relevant comes out, best believe we're gonna come up the next day with our thoughts and opinions on it. So don't worry about that. So as you know, it's Concept Moon everything, conceptmoon.com, at Concept Moon. You can find me on IG at Bigger Than Everybody Bobby. The Bigger Than Everybody podcast is coming soon. We got you can find me BD_Diddley on X. And that's it. Where they gonna find you at, Ra?
Neuro Not Zero everywhere, basically IG, X. I almost said Netflix, but not yet.
Not yet. Soon though.
Yeah, soon. I also do a comic called Lawful Evil, adult stuff and after hours kind of stuff. So you want to check that out. That's it.
And if you're in Atlanta, the last week of April,
the
26th through the 27th, we'll be at Urban Nerd Con. Me and Ra and our brother Chris Williams, we're gonna all be there. So make sure y'all come down and see us. We'll be in a booth. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Urban Nerd Con. Shout out to the whole team, Concept Moon, everything. And as always, within the moon,
everything is illuminated. You already know.
Peace.
Yeah.